Welcome, Lights Out family, to episode 5 of the Out There podcast. This is the 5th episode already, so time passed fast.
Is it 5 already? Wow.
Yep, yeah. So, with us today, myself, KK. I'm trying to stay safe and cautious in the 7th month of the lunar calendar. Then we have Cici. We haven't talked since June. How's everything, Cici?
Everything is good.
Yeah. So later we will know what you've been going through the last 2 months. And of course, Sonia, how's things?
Good. Excellent.
Right.
I mean, aside from being a little bit under the weather, but I think I'm missing Japan. That's what's happening.
I think both of you got bitten by the Japanese bug, the Japan bug. The Japan bug. Later we can talk more about it. Yeah, I'd like to know what's the... Both of you... first trip to Japan?
Virgin.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So it's some people have a culture shock. Then after that they will like reminiscence. Wow, the time there. It's become addictive. Later we'll talk more about it. So before we proceed, let's go through some of the viewers' comments from the last episode, which we did with JDC about the Bali trip. Firstly, from BD. He was asking, does anyone remember an episode on another channel in which he was mentioned by Kim about this Caucasian man who built a resort in Bali with his young son walking into a wall. So actually this was done in another channel. Joe already replied him, but I think the guy was called Roy, who was from Bali, who shared a very interesting story. So what happened was that BD said that he recalled he set up a green room altar, so it's similar to the goddess of the Southern Sea. So this goddess is been followed by a lot of people all over Bali lah. Yeah, and also from Sweet Success 75 AD, and a very nice comment. He said that the show is way better in content and interaction, as everyone is at ease with each other, and it makes it so interesting and so addictive. Thank you very much, Sweet Success. Yeah. All right. And also, we would like to show our appreciation to everybody who will join us in the live chat the last episode. Okay. Before we start everything, I would like to just say that if you're like what we do, please click a like, share this video, subscribe to the video. We just reached 400 for Lights Out. Hope that slow and steady lah. 500 is the next milestone. I know that Cici and Sonia have a lot of fans from their social media, so a bit of them can come over will be great. Yeah, but anyway, if it's fine, I mean, if you just like what we do, just click a like, just share,
Like and share.
Yep. Okay, so as usual, before we go into the main thing, let me share a video I done, a story, which is very close to what you all gone through lah. In Aokigahara, a such event is held every year. The police station, firefighters, and some volunteers form a search team and walk into the sea of trees to find some missing persons. There is a custom that dead bodies being discovered will be placed in the open space outside the police station, and someone will sleep next to the corpse, hoping that they will not turn into zombies or move anything in the middle of the night. This is a story about a volunteer who participated in one such search. I once agreed to a friend's invitation and participated in a search activity. This search activity may sound simple. In fact, a lot of manpower was used, together with police and firefighters, to search for bodies in the sea of trees. This search activity is held once a year. There were many paved paths in the sea of trees, which were very comfortable to walk in during the summer. However, once you straight off the main road, you will face many dangers. The soil covering the volcanic lava is only a few centimeters, and tree roots were intertwined on the ground. Under layers of fallen leaves, there were many large holes hidden. If you step on it accidentally, you will fall into a large hole several meters deep. For a person who is not familiar with the terrain of this area, every step is startling, and one misstep can lead to eternal regret. Throughout the search activity, every year participants will be organized into a forward team to search within a specific range of a certain mark. So strictly speaking, the search range is not the entire sea of trees. In order to prevent anyone from getting lost in this vast sea of trees, the search team will be divided into several smaller teams and search with life-saving ropes. Tie the front end of the rope to the big tree at the entrance of the trail, and everyone will move forward to the other end of the rope. On the final return trip, you can follow the rope back to the entrance of the trail. I want to be on the same team as my friend. On the way, I found a makeshift tent with a blue vinyl roof. Surrounding the tent were magazines, men's wallet, and snack wrappers strewn all over the floor. It looked like someone had been here for a very long time. We didn't find any bodies inside the tent. However, a body was found under a tree a few steps away, most likely the owner of the tent. We reported the situation via the intercom and moved on. 5 teams found a total of 12 bodies that day. As the sun is about to set, it's almost time to stop the search. We were pulling on the life-saving rope and on the way towards the entrance. I suddenly saw a figure standing a few meters in front, but it was obvious that he was not a member of our search team. The figure kept fiddling with our life-saving ropes. My teammates and I suddenly realized something was wrong. "Hey, who are you? What are you doing there?" When we shouted loudly, the vague figure quickly disappeared into the sea of trees. It was very disturbing. "If we don't move faster, the sun will set," I said. Everyone decided to speed up and pull the rope towards the entrance. But when we arrived at the location where the figure was a while ago, the end of the rope tied to the tree was actually being cut. Yes, the life-saving rope was cut, and we couldn't find the cut end of the rope that would lead us back to the trail. It seems like there was no way for us to get out of this sea of trees. The rope itself didn't look like it was being cut by a knife blade, and more like it was torn apart with brute force. We were all shocked, and when we start to think about the rotting corpse we found earlier, it was hard to stay calm in this situation. We used the issued walkie-talkie in an effort to contact the other teams, and fortunately, we were able to meet them successfully. After we came out from the sea of trees safely, one member of the team said the figure we encountered could be the dead spirit of the sea of trees, Jukai no Shiryo. He said that the dead spirit wanted more people to keep him company in the sea of trees, so he broke our rope. After this incident, every team member participating in the search activities must carry 3 ropes instead of 1 in the future search party. The end. And we are back. So this stories is from Japan, and they have like this annual search party in the Aokigahara. Why we talk about Aokigahara? Because this is the main topic we are talking about in this episode. And maybe both of you can give our viewers some introduction of Aokigahara. Sonia?
Well, we just came back about 2 days ago, so a bit of context. We were there to climb Mount Fuji, but that wasn't the only thing we were there to do. There is a lot of urbexing, a lot of I'm sorry, hey, my mouth, my own hair. There's a lot to do in Japan. So when you talk about going there and becoming addicted to the place, there's a lot to get addicted to. Now, back to your story and why it's called, a sea of trees. Yeah, it's a national park. Aokigahara is 35 square kilometers big. Now, that's really huge.
Wow.
And it's a forest that's grown on top of cool lava. from its last eruption of Mount Fuji. It's on the northwestern slopes of Mount Fuji, and the way it grows, it's a mossy forest. And true enough, the roots of the trees that grow on that little bit of soil, they interlace each other, causing there to be holes like that,
Wow.
where your foot, if you walk off trail, your foot can go through and you can get caught. Yes, and trapped. But the infamy of this forest is that people go there to commit suicide. Aokigahara. So that story was an interesting one because from the 1960s, due to pop culture, right, made famous by pop culture in movies and in books, to be the place to go take your life.
Wow.
But aside from the infamy that's associated with that forest, having been there ourselves, it truly is magnetic. And I don't
That's
mean,
what I heard. Yeah.
yes, and I don't just mean how if you have a compass, the needle on the compass can go haywire due to the naturally rich and high iron content. The mineral in the lava can cause magnet needles to go haywire. But that's natural magnetism. But the magnetism I'm talking about is how this forest draws you in.
Yeah, I want to hear more from Cici about that. Yeah. The drawing you in. Yeah.
Well, because when we, I think we went complete out of the trail. Okay.
Wow.
Whenever
Okay.
whenever we see a trail that is not charted, it keep calling us in to go in further and further.
When you talk about the trail, from what I know is that they have rope lining the trees, right? Like, then you follow or what kind of trail are we looking? No.
There are specific trails for you to walk.
Okay. How do you know
So I
that?
think there's a trail that is out of boundary. They will just put a rope to say that there's no entry.
Yeah. Okay.
So some of the path there's a trail that leads you in without any ropes. But that one I think it really called us in to go in further and to check it out.
Okay. May I know what was the time of the day when you all went inside the forest?
It's quite. I think it's about 10 or 11.
10, 11. So,
Right?
Yeah, it wasn't early in the morning because there's a bus schedule you have to follow to get there. I mean,
Yeah.
these so we were restricted by several things. Outside of Tokyo, honestly, I would advise people to rent a car and drive. Otherwise, you are held hostage by the public
bus
transport
schedule. Yeah.
system's schedule. So yeah, we must have gone in at about 10, 11. But you know how you think, okay, 10, 11, it's not going to be too dark. But the forest is very dense and the canopy doesn't allow for a lot of light in. You may see glimmers of the rays as it tries to force its way through, but otherwise it is as gloomy and as it is described.
Yeah, and the best part is we visited a lot of places where there's a lot of cicadas, crickets, with a lot of sounds in the forest. But when we in the Aokigahara forest, I think it was totally silent.
Wow. Okay.
So
For people who don't know, I mean, if you know about the Japan summer, because now it's summer, right?
yes.
The cicada is like buzzing, like really loudly. Not like, I mean, Singapore there is that, but in Japan it's like, yeah,
Ayo, it's you cannot
Can't
compare.
compare.
Cannot compare.
Yeah.
It's like a different kind of cicada. It's so noisy.
Yeah. So if you say that you go in and go, it's totally silent. Wow.
I sent you that video, the one.
Yeah, we'll share.
Aside from the people's voices, Far away, there's nothing else. No cicadas, no birds. It's mostly deathly silent.
With the viewers.
Where I filmed that, and aside, of course, it is a well-known tourist attraction. People within Japan also visit Aokigahara because they have lava tubes and caves, natural
Okay. Yeah.
geological formations that are of interest. So you will see and hear people, but the deeper you go into the forest, the more the more vibey it gets,
Yeah.
the more
okay.
scary it gets. Yeah.
But Gigi mentioned you're stray off the path.
Ha! I don't think any of you should be surprised.
Yes, I'm not.
The
But
deeper you went in, and then you can see a lot of this marking that is being done by the rescuer, I think.
by the volunteers who help the rangers of the park search for suicide victims' bodies.
But seriously, I think if you are not well equipped or knows your way in, you will get lost. Because when we went in deeper, it's all the same. The forest itself, the most part, is all the same. You just have to know where you go in, how you go out. It's the same way that you go in.
It's the same way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's confusing.
it's extremely confusing because there are very few landmarks. All the trees look the same. The mossy bits look the same. If you are the kind of person that relies on landmarks to find your way around in a forest, this place has got no landmarks. It's exactly the same. One tree looks like the other tree, and the low-lying shrubs all look exactly alike. That's one. But the other scary thing is, if you use GPS on your maps, you can forget about getting out as well.
But no connection or what?
Your GPS also, I think you can't have any GPS on there.
Wow.
So the network penetration, there's
seriously,
none.
You're going for this kind of trail inside a dense forest. You won't expect to use the GPS to lead you out also, I suppose.
No, but you see, the thing is, when it comes to connectivity, right, network towers have a certain radius
correct.
of transmission. Now, we're in a forest that is very touristy to a certain degree, right? Because a lot of tourists go there, and you are not that far off a marked trail. You're not that far off.
Okay.
Because in the first place, if you just step off the trail already, on the trail itself already got no GPS.
Wow.
And no network, which is a little bit strange, isn't it, if you think about it? Yeah. So there's something really out of this world when it comes to this patch of forest. So if you're looking for landmarks, forget it. And
like Sonia said, the place is covered. The place is covered with mosey, where there's a hole you can't see. Even you step also, you have to be careful where you step.
Yes.
So one wrong move, I think your leg will go inside the hole already.
Oh.
And we saw so many. We saw so many holes in the ground where the interlacing of the roots is, but leaving just that little bit of you really have to watch where you step.
Yeah. So imagine you go in and you like sprain your ankle, then you have to
You can't make that phone call. You can't make that phone call. Come rescue me. So, how we always talk about, and this was the very first thing that we spoke about during the first episode, where we let our loved ones know where we are at any given time and never go, I saw the eye roll. And, oh, hang on a second. I've got, and, you shouldn't go into these places alone.
Okay lah, you guys. Were it just two of you, or the other the climbing party also went with you guys?
We had one other person with us, but
okay.
We ended up going.
So
to see
the park, is it considered park or just the forest? Is you mentioned it was like there's a.
What am I? I'm hearing something else. Hang on.
Sorry.
Can you all hear that? My family's having conversation somewhere.
No, I think is it my side?
It's my side.
Maybe it's from the Aokigahara.
Is there a past conversation that's being played?
No. Is it very
why so
audible?
strange? I'm hearing it. Yes.
Oh, no. What do you hear?
Entire conversations, but there's nothing on my laptop and there's nothing on my phone.
I don't hear anything. Cici?
No.
No.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Hang on, let me see what's going on.
Oh, man, I'm getting goosebumps. No joke.
Where's this coming from?
Oh, it's 15 days of Chinese.
Yeah, Sunday is the 15th.
Yeah, so tomorrow night will be the best.
Yeah.
Right, Sonia kena already.
How strange. Give me a second, It is the strangest thing.
Conversation.
Yes. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna. Oh dear. Okay, let me try that.
Is it in Japanese or in English?
Yeah, there was music playing, and then there's entire conversations taking place. I don't know where the hell it's from. There's nothing else on my laptop except this app that's running.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing on my phone except, like, So, what the hey?
Wow.
Okay, never mind. I'll just ignore it.
Yeah. No,
Back.
but it's still
Wow.
going on in the.
Yeah, I can hear it. But
Okay.
I'm going to just tune it out. Back to Aokigahara.
Aokigahara. Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
curious. Is like you all mentioning there was like the park ranger or something.
So the park rangers
Mm.
and volunteers would periodically go through and into
Yes.
the forest looking for suicide victims. Now that is the true sadness of this place. And Chichi, because we use the Google Lens to translate whatever it was. Chichi, you remember the sign? There are signs before you walk into the forest at the beginning of the trail that have some advice.
Yeah, with the phone number to call if you got any problems. I think it's kind of sad to see that kind of signs. And for me to see that kind of sign, it really gives me a deep impact. Because for me, I've been thinking about how they face to end their life without thinking about their parents, their families, or
I roughly remember the sign you talk about. Before you, there's a few things before you make the next move. Think about your family and all this. Yeah.
Yes, and if you're facing depression, call
Yeah.
the hotline first. But
Alright.
it does bring home that message. It's like the intention or the reason that people go into these forests to take their life in the first place. I've spoken about this before, where we are hard-coded, hardwired in the brain to preserve life, not take it. Especially our own. When you stand at the edge of a cliff, instinct kicks in, you step back because it's a self-protecting mechanism. Hey, not you. He will go further and further. But, that's what is hard-coded in us. So can you imagine the headspace of these people when they go into Aokigahara's dense, darker parts to take their own life? What are they going through?
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the true sadness of this forest. But there is something about it that calls you, that draws you. Like in our case, it beckoned. It said, "Come deeper,
Yes.
come closer."
There's so many written literature and accounts of people just don't know why they actually go there. Some actually manage to shake out of the trance. The kind of
It's a trance-like
Yeah.
state.
So even in the story I shared, it's like within a year, I don't know the credibility of that story, but in that team that they went in for that particular year in summer, around this time also, they managed to get 12 bodies.
And they noticed Cici was sharing this very interesting bit of trivia about the timing when there is an uptick in the number of suicides.
Which is when
it's mostly during end of March, where the fiscal year is being embraced.
yes.
High stress time.
End of March, okay, from what I remember, April, okay, is a new start year for everybody because it's spring month. So for school, for work, like for your workplace, you got new recruits coming in and all these things. Then maybe due to poor performance or don't know what could be,
Alright.
and they are very affected when they don't get
Performance,
not like us lah. We sometimes can like take it easy, but Japanese can be very. It's more
They're
about
very
faith.
exacting, and they're so serious and
Yeah.
and so
I mean, even from the olden days when we watch those kind of samurai movie, if they're not, if Harakiri, they just but as you said, it's like when you're down, I read or you're even like you guys are going there for just exploration, you can feel that your mood just got really
Yes.
affected by the place itself. So imagine people who
especially if you are sensitive to emotions uh, and by sensitive I mean you're very in tune with your surroundings. You are going to pick up on a deep sadness about that place. And when
Even there's this bench that we sit also. I think it really impacts me to sit down there to think about what they do, how they end their life.
Yeah.
It really impact me down there.
how was it you shared that how was it that they take their own life?
Yeah, mostly they go by suicide by hanging or poison themselves.
Okay. So not just
very very painful ways to die. My goodness.
And there's a saying that they leave all their elderly down there to start at night.
their
I don't think
belongings is with
I'm not sure whether it's still done in this day and age though, but that was something that was done in the days of yore, where when they could no longer support the elderly in their family, the honorable thing or the honorable way was to leave them in these forests to die of starvation. I don't know how that is honorable, and I don't know how that is, even an option.
we are not in their shoes. We really don't know what. Obviously, they have been struggling a lot with to make that really hard decision. So it's not for
To
us.
take your own life is also a very
it's not for us to
tough
judge,
decision.
but generally, I think I have a PSA for people who watch this. If you're like, just talk to somebody. I mean, death is not the solution. People are fighting to survive. Fighting to live.
Some people, I think they already made up their mind as not to trouble the other people or their families.
But you were saying you're like sitting at a bench, right? I suppose it was like a lot of people were sitting there, like making that decision
before proceeding for the
Pondering, thinking about it.
So, did anybody, y'all go when you go in? Is there a sign say, please come out before certain time, or because in that story they say, because if sunset, the whole place will be dark, lah. So that's
Complete
definitely no.
darkness.
Yeah. So
There's
is
no
there
lights
like
in
any
there.
warning say don't linger in that place for like after 3 or what? Kind of thing?
I didn't see any signs.
No.
Yeah, we don't get sign.
Okay.
And
Because what we know is that we need to take the bus by before 5 or 4.
Or because of the bus.
It's, but I suppose if you drive, right, the car park, there is opening and closing time for the car park, but not for the park. The park has got no fences. It is not cordoned off in any way. So I suppose if you wanted to go there at night, you could. The official timings, there are official park timings, but for a place that doesn't have fences, then you could technically go in at any time. But we had restrictions. We had to get out.
I think the nearest hotel to the Aokigahara Forest is about 9-minute walk from the park.
Oh, there's a hotel there.
Yes, there's a hotel nearby the resort.
Wow. It will be an interesting place to
Let's go.
Oh, I thought it's like a really ulu place, you know. You need like a
There's some resort down there.
oh my
But,
goodness.
but the price will be expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Astronomical, because it's a tourist attraction. The lava tubes, the caves, where the Japanese also go, not just the foreign tourists, but the local tourists also that come from other prefectures and other parts of Japan. They also go there to marvel at these geological sites.
Okay. So
It's rather commercial, unless you go off trail.
I really haven't heard of the commercial part of this place. All the story that I heard is about the, you know.
Yeah, because there's nothing scary about the commercial places except how crowded it gets. That's
No, it's
the
not.
only scary thing.
Don't go in. You will bend down.
Huh?
You will crawl all the way.
No, but the commercial tourist site is not the same place as the.
In the same area, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to go
it's-
through that same place.
I mean, if you want, okay. So if where the bus stops is where there are cafes,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
that's where the bus
cafes.
stops. You
Ah.
know, yeah. So like for us, because we travel by bus, we get off at that point, and then it's a very
there's-
commercial space where
There's
the car park
business
is.
there.
Yes, then that is the
Oh.
start of the trail, and
Ah.
it branches out into some of the attractions. There's something known as the wind cave, another thing known as the
Okay.
ice cave, and what Chichi was talking about bending down is because they are lava tubes that are subterranean and very tiny, small spaces. Now I'm a very small person, so it didn't affect me. But Chichi is tall and Chichi's big.
Oh, you
He's,
guys
know,
went for the experience.
Yeah.
yeah, because you're already there. So,
Yeah,
and there's
okay.
a lot of local law that's attached to the lava tubes. So, of course, we want to see. It is claimed that a dragon spirit resides in
Black dragon.
the ice in the ice caves. So, before you enter the lava tubes, there is already a small shrine, and when you get to the deepest parts of it, there is yet another shrine dedicated to different spirits, and in this case it was the black dragon spirit
Okay.
in the ice cave. So of course we want to go and see what is this mystical thing that they worship, right? But
The deepest part, do you need to really crouch down? Like,
yes,
oh my goodness.
yeah, I didn't have to because
Oh,
I'm at the correct height. I just have to like crouch a little bit, but
okay,
Chichi had
okay.
to get on his hands and knees.
Okay. Oh.
But it's good because the so-called wind cave, before we go in, I think the wind is also quite strong, and we were wondering where's the wind come from.
Yes.
So it's only when you inside the cave then you can start to feel the wind.
No, the outside before you enter the cave,
Okay.
you already can feel the wind.
Yeah. And when you all go, it was like in the middle of the heat wave in Japan.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So
It's summertime now.
Yeah.
Japan only has 3 months of summer. You know, if you've got 4 seasons, it's about 3 months per season.
yeah.
And Japan was facing a heat wave. What was the
No,
temperature?
I think spring and autumn is very short. Autumn especially very short. The spring is still okay. Yeah. But summer and winter are long.
3
I think
months.
we got is 41.
41 degrees Celsius.
And
Oh my
42 even.
Wow.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we are all burnt.
Yeah.
It's like if you
sunburn,
look,
right?
Yeah,
UV?
you can
Yeah.
see where my watch was, or because I wear stack bracelets and stuff. So we may not look that on screen, right? But we're several shades darker after coming back.
Oh, this will be something to think about when we talk about your climb up Mount Fuji, because that one, the UV is really fully exposed.
It was,
Yeah.
yes,
So
super dry.
So any last, okay, let before we end, we were talking about the feel of the Aokigahara, the sea of trees, right? Do you all personally sense anything in that place itself?
Yeah, what I say is that whenever we see any trail, it's like asking us to come more further.
Okay.
Yeah. It invites us to go in again, in deeper and deeper.
Yeah. So imagine you yourself, you yourself is there, and nobody's there to stop you, and that's it.
Yeah, I think we both of us went in a bit deeper. I think that's it. We have to turn back.
Yes.
You are conscious enough to turn back.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Sonia? Any your vibes? Is it like on high alert?
Yes, but that's because I put it out there. I always make intention when I go into places like that. I put it out there in the universe what my intentions are, and that's very important so that you do not lose focus of why you are there.
Yeah.
Right, setting your intention. But I also do something else, which is let the forest know that we are here, and kind of why, so that they do not feel threatened by our presence, because I knew we were going to go off trail. It is a given. Okay, look at Gigi smiling down there.
Yeah.
It is a given because we always, it's something that we do, and we want beyond the normal experiences that people look for, right?
Yeah.
What makes this place so magical almost? So by putting it out there, I am opening myself up to, let's just say, other experiences. So when we did, there was one section and a trail that was cordoned off by rope across it, and it said do not enter, and it was by order of the local prefecture authorities, and we suspect that's because something might have happened there and they do not want us to venture any further. But we did go in by another way lah.
Did y'all see any ropes on the trees? Okay. Good.
That's all.
Huh?
He saw a mink, a Japanese mink.
Oh, really?
He saw
Y'all
one.
take a picture of the mink?
No, I was
so fast.
sad.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's still a lot of fauna, natural. I mean, it is still a forest
Yes,
that
it's a
houses
forest,
animals, and he was so lucky to see a Japanese mink,
Yeah,
and
I
I was
think-
like, oh. Yes.
But I
would
think
have
it's
loved to
like
see
a
that.
sign lah, a sign.
No, but you think about it, okay? So we say that there is still a lot of fauna that lives in these forests,
Yeah.
and yet there is no sound of birds, no sound of cicadas. How do you explain
Complete
that?
silence.
Complete deafening silence.
That cannot find.
That makes no sense.
I cannot find an explanation. What I mean, people. We all have shared, like, when you go to a place when the insects don't make sound.
All
Yeah.
zip.
This place
There
is
is
like
something else
there's
there
something else there. Yeah.
that causes the animals to be wary as well.
Yeah.
So if the animals are wary, then what more about us? We should be wary and scared too. But no, we go in even further and deeper.
Yeah. But that you are the wanderers lah. No choice lah. Yeah. But I don't think you're the only one who went so deep in.
I've read of, we've read of reports where they find decomposed bodies and undiscovered for a long time.
Yeah,
And in that state of decomposition is either made worse by the heat because summertime, or by animals that eat it because they have bears. They've got black bears in those forests, and so volunteers that help out in the recovery process have found bodies in all sorts of states of decomposition.
Yeah. So, would you all want to go back again?
Yes.
Of course.
Not the wind tunnel and all this. That
No,
one been through once already.
No need to go and see the commercial bits. But the next time we go there, we are driving. We are not going to be held ransom by the bus schedule.
Yeah. But it seems like it's not as rural as I thought it is. Okay, but
So the next time we go, you're coming, right?
Wow. Let me think.
Like we talk about, we already said that the place is deadly silence, no GPS, no signal. So I think if night time also, it will be more eerie. I think will be more scary.
So that is on your agenda, nighttime exploration.
Yes, because anything can happen. Because we done in Singapore also where our batteries all hit. Before our mission.
Yeah.
Wanting to go there at night need a lot of preparation as well.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a bit about the Mount Fuji climb. How was it? What's the preparation like? How the reaction?
Okay lah. I think for me as a newbie in this mountain climbing, Mount Fuji is okay lah for if you do some trainings beforehand.
Yeah.
Because
I've seen many videos of people climbing. It's like there's a path lah. People are following this path. You will see a lot of climbers, especially this period of time when they open only for that few months to do the climbing also, right? Yeah. So
Mount Fuji is actually open all the time for climbing.
Really?
But yes, all the time. Except that the ideal climb conditions is during summer because there's no snow.
July to September.
So, and you have support in the form of lodges and shops along the way on the trail. Now, the place has got several trails, not just the one that we were on. It has several trails that lead all up to the summit. And it's only during these the ideal climb months that the lodges and the shops are open. So if you're planning a 2-day, 1-night climb, and most people do that so that they can see the sunrise. Yes, the infamous, because you're above the sea of clouds.
The cloud,
Yes,
very
and then
beautiful,
you get to see, these picturesque scenes. Yeah.
So your state.
And that's
okay.
And that's the best time to climb lah. But otherwise, if you want to do a day trip, there are people that climb to the peak and come down all in one day. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. But if you are an experienced mountaineer or want to do a snow climb, then yes, it can still be done. A lot of people don't know that you can climb at any time. It's just how you want to plan this. That's it. You're going to need crampons and a bit more equipment if you're going to do a snow climb. But if you just want to do a hiking climb, then the best time is the 3 months.
Summer, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Later in the news segment, there will be a report of some accident happened on Mount Fuji. Quite recent.
Yeah. Yes. 4. There was one that was reported missing, and then they found 3 bodies. Is that the same report?
I think so. Yeah, that's the quite famous one. But so you all started from the 5th station, if I'm wrong. That's where all the tourists will go to the 5th station.
Where the bus.
The bus. The horse. You all see the horses there?
Horses?
There used to be horses there. Yeah.
So there are there are 4 trails, right? The trail that we use starts at the 5th station, but then there are other ones like the Yoshida Trail, and and
September.
that
Okay.
start at different points, and that start at different elevations.
Oh.
Yes. Some are
Okay.
longer, some are shorter, some are steeper.
So what is around what time you all start from the 5th station to the 8th station? Because that's where you all stay overnight. Then the next morning you all go to the summit, right?
I think we start at 9 or 10
In the morning.
I think about 10, because the bus was at the bus was at what, 9?
It's
The
But
bus
the journey from the town that we started at, Gotemba, to get to the trailhead alone was already 1 hour.
yeah. You need to be early to get a seat on the bus. You'll be standing all the way to Subasiri Trail.
And then you're carrying your backpack and all of that. Oh my gosh! So when I did this, it's because you have to be
no seat lah. The bus, you all didn't manage to get a seat.
because it's a very popular mountain to climb. It's the highest and the prettiest, right? It's a standalone stratovolcano mountain, very similar in terrain and in structure as Kilimanjaro. And if you climb mountains or these volcanoes in Indonesia, very similar to Rinjani, not in its formation, but rather the volcanic rock and screed. But
if you say that it's similar to Rinjani or Merbabu, I think Mount Fuji is much more difficult, because when I reach the top, I say, yes, we reached the summit. But they say, no, this is not the summit. You have to go another.
Oh, really?
false.
So you
There's a
have to go
false
to-
summit.
Yeah,
But there's a sign there. So you thought it was no. Then how
There's
you
no
know that?
signage.
Then how do you assume that you're at the summit?
From other people's experience. So they tell us that you can arrive at the crater, right? The crater is a circular
Yes.
rim at the top. So when you break that surface, when you come up to the crater, then you think, yes, I've made it. Because right, there are some shops and then there's a shrine. But then that's not the highest point on the mountain.
Oh, it's
the
not?
highest point on the mountain still needs you to circumvent the rim,
Which is
and then climb up a little bit more before you get to the tallest point, which has a MET station, a meteorological station at the top at 3,776 meters above sea level.
Yes.
So when you come up and you break the crater, then you think, wow, I made it. Ah, boy. You still have to walk the crater rim. Then there's another steep ascent before you get to the very tip. And for people who don't know that, they think that I've already arrived and then they don't bother walking the crater rim. Actually, they have not peaked and they've not summited, because you're only at the false peak, not the true peak.
But
the true peak is at Pengamin Peak, Pengamin Summit.
Then I mean, the crater is where you all see the sunrise, or what? Or really you have to go to the summit?
We watch the sunrise from the lodge. Sun rises at about 4 a.m.
Yes.
So we have to be up at that time, and we did not want to race against it, because if you have that view already, you might as well look at that view. Then you take your own sweet time to get to the crater, and that's what the group chose to do. It was a unanimous decision. Watch the sunrise from the 8th station, and then climb up to the summit.
And even from the 8th station, I think we start to summit around 5 a.m.
By the time we
reach summit about 10.
So from 8th station, where the lodge is, to the crater, you take 5 hours. Wow. No wonder Cici was like, yes. then they found that then you have to walk the around the circumference of the crater, which I think is not like a 10 minutes walk, I suppose.
90 minutes.
90. To make the full round is 90 minutes.
Yeah. Then the scariest part, ladies and gentlemen, is the climbing
gosh.
down.
Actually, the
Well, I
scariest
think
part.
when we reach the summit also, we have to queue up to really go to the summit.
Because everybody
There's a
is
long queue.
take picture, right?
But
Yeah,
typical Japanese style, very orderly, and everybody stood in a single file. There's no jostling, there's no pushing, and nobody is shouting at each other like "hurry up" or nothing. You know, it's like very orderly, calm fashion,
Correct.
and you join the queue because when you're in Japan, you are easily influenced to behave like that. Suddenly, you're nodding your head a lot and saying Yeah. "Sumimasen," excuse me, and you become like that. On the roads, we didn't hear any honking at all. It
Yes.
was
even
so
in
polite.
the metro line or the train, we even dare not to speak because they are so
Correct.
quiet.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big no. Your mobile phone must be silenced. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the scariest part of the climb was not the climb itself. It was
Okay.
the fact that while we were at the 8th station, the country experienced a 7.1 magnitude earthquake
Yes.
while we were up there.
Mm.
Now, this was down south in Kyushu. However, if the earthquake was anywhere nearer Mount Fuji,
Mm.
that would have been truly scary because
Mhm.
then there would be rockfall, there would be
Yes.
a lot of movement,
Yeah.
right? But we were far away from it. But I must say thank you to everybody that reached out because we still were able to get intermittent signal on the mountain.
Yeah.
And I did receive messages checking on us, checking on the team that we were safe up there. And for that, I am very grateful. So
Because
thank you.
earthquake is unexpected, It can come anytime. They won't schedule a time. It just happened.
Oh.
So the 7.1 Richter scale at Kyushu happened in the afternoon, I remember. Yeah.
I think 4 plus
PM.
4:45 p.m. And at that point we were
Climbing now? Haven't
no,
reached
we
8.
we were at 8 already when I started receiving
Yeah.
messages.
Then Cici sent me a photo that y'all got the warning from the telco, right?
That one is after we
After.
went down already. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because there were aftershocks and tremors afterwards. So because we are in the country and we're using the local telecommunication systems, everybody received emergency notifications because we experienced a tremor. It was a 3.0, but I was at the back at where the washing machine was, and the dryer was vigorously shaking, and the alarm in the house was going off. It said
For us Singaporean,
earthquake alert.
For us Singaporean to experience a tremor, personally I experienced twice. Really, very like less than 2 seconds that kind of tremor. One was in Japan, where we are in a hotel. That time my first kid is like still a baby, so we feel like shaking. Then my wife say, should we leave? I say, I think better not. That's we also don't know what is the how. I think during certain time you also don't you have to listen to what is the instruction. Then the second time I experienced was in Taiwan, where we had the parked car. I can see the parked car suddenly move. I say, there's no brake on the car. The driver never put handbrake because we were outside standing. We were waiting to depart to another location. Then the car started to move. Then realized that it's an earthquake. So
I think that the best part of it is that we received the notification before it alerted us.
Yeah.
Even our phone all keep ringing the same.
So I when y'all came down, I actually messaged Sonia, said that because the after the Kyushu earthquake, they found that the tectonic plates start to move. There's a slip. So the one that's going to be affected is called the Nankai Trough. So it's along the from Hiroshima to Osaka to Kyoto to Nagoya straight. They call this place the Tokaido lah. But for Tokyo, it will not be affected because that's another plate. So that y'all mentioned that y'all will depart from Nagoya. So that was So I was like thinking, better be careful, safe than sorry. Yeah. let you guys know.
But the owner himself like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
It's very normal for them, and they've been drilled since they were young.
All right.
Now, because it is a place that has a lot of natural disasters, right, of that nature. So I think for them it's part and parcel of their life. But for me, because it was my first real earthquake, I know for Cici it was not. So for me, still got novelty factor. I was like, wow, this is my first earthquake. You know.
So any last words about the climb itself? So for Cici is the summit. the fourth summit was
I got cheated.
lah. So who was the one that told you that somebody else or people in the
normally when we climb mountains, we reach the summit. That's it, summit. But somebody told me, no, this is not the summit. You have to go and then.
For me, it's interesting to note that. Sorry, Cici, did I interrupt you? You wanted to say something?
No, it's okay.
I was going to say that in the olden days, why people climbed Mount Fuji is a religious pilgrimage to the shrines that are on top of the mountain, because these are sacred. Now, the Shinto religion that most Japanese have been following since the year 400s, right, is very loosely based on animism, which is a belief in the spirit of things, and then forming conduits. So the shrines are more like conduits and vessels for the spirits to come into. For instance, a big tree, a big mountain, right? It's rather symbolic. So in the old days, people used to go to Mount Fuji as a pilgrimage. And then it has evolved into what it has now. Modern day hikers and mountaineers that go to it. But it's very interesting to note its origins.
Remember when our episode about mountain climbing, we talked about, if not even Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, people climb mountains for some prayers, spiritual. Mountain itself is
Correct.
So I was very interested in the shrines that we saw along the way, because throughout the way, now the trail is a very well curated, well maintained, look after trail. It's very hard to get lost because it is marked by rope and very well maintained. Okay, so you just follow that, but hey, because somebody wants to go off, that's why. But having said that, these trails were used by pilgrims to go visit the shrines at the various points of the mountain, and then of course at the very top. So if you're into it for the spiritual significance, then Mount Fuji is definitely a place that you would want to explore for more sacred, spiritual, religious reasons. For me, that was an important takeaway, because we did go into the shrines.
But the heat wasn't really affecting the UV, all this.
They were very bad.
It was very bad.
Okay lah. So it's easy for somebody, not for me. With the tan and.
But because seriously, you're talking about sunburn. Really, Japan summer is really a different kind of experience. You don't even know you got sunburn.
Dry. It's dry.
Because for myself, I think it's when I started to use the jacket, then I feel hot, then I take out, then it started to rain, then I put on my jacket again, then it started to hot, I take out, I don't want to use it.
Cannot find the correct configuration.
The wind chill will get you if you don't cover up. But the problem is that with the sun beating down on you, and there's no cover. It is a bare mountain. So the minute you break into and past the alpine forest, right, then it's just all bare rock. Complete sun exposure. So yes, it gets very, very hot. Then when the wind blows, you get very, very cold. And then the sun continues to shine on you. It was hell. It was
hard to find the midpoint.
The sweet spot.
The sweet spot. So beside you're talking about Urbex in Japan. Maybe yeah, can give a glimpse of what. Yeah, Chichi?
I think in Japan, it's a nice place to do backseeing exploration because I think there's a lot of places which are being abandoned for a long time. And I think we went to this park which is been abandoned since 2009
Ah,
due to open up of Disney. So this is being ignored, I think. So they just close it
it's a
down.
water park.
It's more to
Really
Amusement
like
park?
amusement
no,
park.
no, amusement park with go-kart ride.
Ah,
Yeah, with Ferris. They used to have Ferris wheel, but I think they demolished the Ferris wheel except for the roller coaster thing.
it's not Fuji Q, right?
No,
No, no.
we still have.
Yeah, that one is popular. Okay. So,
That one I will agree with. We were talking with Sonia. I said that this kind of weather people still go to this.
So
It's
hot.
so hot.
Fuji Q.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it's at Mount Fuji station. So
Yeah.
every time we have to take a bus from those areas, right? It's in full view. But where we went, it was an abandoned amusement park with a water park area inside. It is a huge, huge place.
And we got to know that it used to be a bunker for Imperial Japan Army.
Ah,
Yeah. On the
Oh.
same site, there was an Imperial Japanese armament bunker. And we were fortunate enough to see it. But of course, it's all sealed off now. But can you imagine a place like that, which had live rounds and all of those arms, and how much bloodshed a place like that would have seen?
but armament. So that means they store the weapons there. Should be
Weapons
Yes.
or
just storage
Yes.
lah.
Storage, but then again, you have to defend it. What?
Oh.
It's being used by the Americans.
The Americans took it over.
Then somebody decided that it's the ideal place for amusement park.
Mm-mm.
So now the question becomes, which came first, the amusement park or the bunker? I think the bunker came first, and it just so happened to be on the same plot of land.
And we also don't know when the amusement park started and what happened and what caused it to. Most likely is business
No,
ran
but like
off.
what-
Yeah.
Like what Chichi said, because the other attractions, right, other more attractive parks may have opened up, and then that became sidelined. With these businesses, it's purely commercial. If it no longer runs a profit, then it's difficult to maintain it, and it's also difficult to operate. So it must have shut down because of that. But what made this place so attractive is it still has remnants of the tracks. And if you are an urbexer, then these are the things that you want to see. But it is completely overgrown. We did a full circumference and perimeter sweep. It was so tiring, and we were looking for so many ways to get in because there's not a lot of information. There's a Japanese word for this type of activity. We call it urbex. The Japanese call it
So,
Aiyo.
yeah, actually.
so and
Will you manage to go inside, or were just outside the circumference? Or you did went in?
When
Okay. But I don't think you all managed to.
we went in cursing and swearing. Okay? I know I did.
It's a whole day affair, I suppose.
Yes.
Just half a day just to find the way in and walking around the place. But isn't that like a entrance?
We made one fatal mistake. No, because the thing is, it's no longer in operations.
Correct.
So they have it entirely fenced
Correct.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, barricaded and
But
all. So
prior
we
to
had-
going, you all already know that there are ways to, because people have went in. No. Oh. Somehow I'm not surprised that Sonia will find a way to go in. So
What? How come I get the blame?
so who is? Must be
Both
somebody.
of us lah.
Yeah.
Both of us. I think we are the types that don't give up easily, and Cici does a lot more of the research of these things. He's much better at that than I am, because I'm the sort I will just go only. I don't care. It's like Chonga, just go.
Yeah.
So I have Cici to advise and stuff.
Even we want to get too close to the roller coaster also takes us a lot of time, because it's being blocked by bushes, fallen trees.
Completely overgrown.
Overgrown, yeah.
Oh.
And I think for Urbex in Japan, we did one. We got to the Ryokan hostel, which is being
Ryokan.
abandoned in 2002.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Where's this place?
Yamanaka.
Sorry?
Yamanaka Lake.
Oh,
So we moved around a lot on this particular trip. We had different things on our agenda. Yes, we wanted to Urbex, we wanted to experience different things, see different things, and then of course it's all centered around the climb. But when we cycled around Yamanakako Lake, this is in the 5 Lakes district, and Yamanakako is just one of the lakes. To cycle around the lake already is 21 km just to cycle.
Marathon, half marathon.
You can forget about walking. So we said, okay, never mind.
Cycle.
And we cycled, and then we came across this one place, and the minute I set my eyes upon it, I was like, okay, this is it. We absolutely have to check this place out. And I'm so glad we did.
Along the lake itself, this Ryokan.
A little bit.
And is it like beside other Ryokan? No. Just
No,
standalone.
I think it's a building by itself. Yeah.
Then
It's kind of like a hostel, a third floor building.
So did they have a sign say that it's no more operation, or the building is covered with algae, or what?
Well, one look.
Covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, one look we don't
No lah, yeah.
because it's covered with all the trees, the vines. Yeah.
Yes, and I think we have an inner radar, right, Cici? We have an inner radar for these things. Like one look at these places, and we know, aha.
You keep calling, come.
Yes.
So okay, it's a
It's a place-
3-story Ryokan.
Structure wise, it's 3 floors, and then on the first floor there's no way in. It was only when we went up into the second floor. And
Okay. But you all managed to go into the lobby, then go to the second floor.
Probably no.
No
no
lobby.
lobby, just straight up. And it's a place
there's
that's
stairs
frozen in time. Everything that from the point it stopped operating, and then Cici noticed the calendar. It said
2002 July 2002.
So it's not been in operation for over 30 years. 22 years. And
Any interesting sight and sound in this particular place?
yeah, the air is naturally, because the windows are closed, there are no openings and stuff, so the air is very still. But it's interesting to note that there wasn't very much dust, because the openings, not many openings, right? So not a lot of dust coming into the building. But the interesting part for me was how the place has just stood still. You've got TV sets with the
CRT TV.
is it the cat? Yeah, the ones, the very big back. What do you call those?
Toshiba, the light bulb one.
Cathode. Don't know what.
Cathode.
Yeah, cathode.
Yeah.
Not the
with the cathode tubes. Yeah, not the flat screen TVs that we're used to, no. But there was this one particular room that
tatami
Cici
room,
needs to
right?
talk about. All of them were tatami rooms.
Wow, it's creepy. Okay. Yeah, Cici.
There's this particular room that when I tried to go in, then I saw this mattress. It being laid down, then there's a blanket which looked like people covering on the shop.
But you just see, like, you didn't approach the.
He did. Of course he did.
He just a blanket.
You take out, you just open it,
Never think.
or you use your leg to just feel the blanket
So
itself.
then we just leave it there.
Okay.
Because one part, best part of I think this Japanese Urbex thing is the building itself. They don't really vandalize. They don't take the things. They just leave it there.
Yeah.
That's
There's
good
no
enough
looting.
for us to
Yeah. Imagine the TV and everything is still there. But
Even the
you only can
mattress.
explore the second floor, that's all. Third floor?
No time. We were short on
we got
time.
no time.
And along the way, as we were cycling, we saw many abandoned hotels
Lots,
and resorts. And we were told that further up in the hills, there's even more. And one of the reasons for that is Japan has a problem with population, repopulating.
No
They
staff.
don't have enough. Not enough. No, not just about the staffing, but as the elderly, as they grow older, there's no replacement. Right?
Yes.
So
yes.
they're not having enough. They don't have enough children. Their birth rate is very low. So as the elderly start to die off, there's no one taking their place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
These are
because
family
of that,
business lah.
because of that, many abandoned homes, abandoned properties that we always keep a lookout for. And then Chichi found one which was right next to our homestay,
Which is also in Shizuoka or
Yamanakako.
Yamanakako. Even I think the owner of itself so surprised that we are doing Hakio down there.
Already?
He said that there's a lot of place for us to go.
So many places, but so little time.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, what Sonia highlighted is correct. And you got this, I won't say it's rural because it's still near Tokyo. Shizuoka is considered
About 3 hours, 3 hours out of Tokyo.
But a lot of rural towns and villages are really like, that's why there are news report of the government giving people free lodging to just encourage people to live in this. So imagine all the houses in villages, are all abandoned because the population is concentrated.
There was this one place that we went to was such a dead town. My God.
Yeah.
It's as if it's stuck in the 80s. There was this one optical shop that I walked past, and in the window display, the fashion that was is from the 60s.
You mean the Honto Street?
Yeah,
Honto
that
Street?
place. Major regret.
They have a fascination about, they call it the Showa era lah. Because during the World War II, the emperor, he lasts a long time. After World War One or something, he lasted about 60 over years. That long period is called the Showa era. Then we go to the Heisei era, 1989. So a lot of the Showa era thing you all will still see there. I really like to see.
Must be very cheated by this area, okay?
Why
and then apparently it was made famous on like a very IG place to go and see Mount Fuji from the street. Like on either side of the street there are buildings, and then in the middle of it then you can see Mount Fuji. So apparently it's very picturesque lah. So the whole group of us went.
Okay.
But
you cannot see anything.
No, because it was covered in cloud. Never mind that it's covered in cloud. There is nothing else in this town. But we managed a bit of Urbex lah while we were there.
Okay lah.
No, not okay. Waste
time lah. You got
waste the time.
I just want to visit their cemetery better.
Oh,
but we did go see cemetery.
Cemetery, yeah. But their cemetery is very peaceful lah. Or is it abandoned cemetery?
I guess if you're looking for the Shogun, the last Shogun's cemetery, then no, it's not. Oh. It's not peaceful.
Okay.
And we did that. We went.
Wow.
Chichi brought us.
We visited the last Shogun that been buried in Japan. Because I think before we went into the place itself, there's a lot of cicada sounds everywhere. But when we enter the place itself, it's just totally silent. Yeah.
But burial ground, so that means what? He died there.
Yeah, I
So
think
he was
buried
just
down there.
buried there.
I mean, Japan itself is a land they have experienced thousands of years of fighting. You know, the land is like is aged in his history lah. I mean, if we, places where there are like war and everything. You know, and if
Well,
you
because they had a system of warlords and all of that. But the shogun is I think a military commander.
next time y'all can maybe go to Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know,
Yeah.
experience. I've been
I
to
want.
the
I
Hiroshima.
you know what I would love to see. I would love to see the abandoned towns of Fukushima.
Fukushima. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That
I
one,
think
They're slowly rebuilding, but it's still quite dead lah.
which is perfect for us.
Yeah, yeah.
but it's
A
full
lot
of radiation, right?
Yeah,
Sorry?
but they've allowed people to slowly move back into the towns and stuff
Correct.
because radiation has come down. So there's this the isotopes, the half-life of the isotopes have been achieved. Of course, we're talking about further away from the nuclear reactors, but the close proximity of the nuclear reactors, of course not. But there are workers that go in on a daily basis with the nuclear cleanup is still ongoing. But outside of it, because they had evacuated the Fukushima prefecture during that time, but now it has become safe enough for visitors to come and for people to move back into certain parts of it. So,
If
but
you-
there still are lots and lots of abandoned towns and homes that
Yeah.
have also been frozen in time because
From
everybody left in a rush.
from the tsunami itself. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were hit by a triple whammy. It was an earthquake followed by a tsunami and then the nuclear meltdown.
Yeah.
So that was a triple whammy.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2011, 2011. Yeah, March 30.
Well, it was that.
March
right.
11. Yeah. Because I have a
So
friend.
that is one
Huh?
place I would love to go explore.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine, like, but as you say, lah, a lot of places are just frozen in time. Something we cannot find in Singapore where, you know,
No.
yeah, things are
No
moving
chance,
so
yeah.
fast. Yeah. Alright. So many stories to share about Japan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where I want to explore. Chichi, is there another a place that you would like to explore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
island of in Japan also there's one island which is really totally outbound by people.
There's the building there, is it? The
Yeah,
like the
correct.
Battleship Island or something, right?
Battleship Island, correct.
Ah. Oh, that one also. That was very creepy. That one really creepy.
And one of my regret is not to buy the doll down there.
What door? What door?
We were in one area. It's
Ah.
very much like the older areas. It felt like Holland Village type of an area. Yeah. And then they have like flea market type of a setup. So one of the shops had a few items, and there was those samurai hats, that kind of a thing. But it's very heavy, so Chichi didn't want that. But he saw a doll.
It's only 1,000
Yeah.
yen.
Yeah.
The door itself.
$10
In the
$10.
glass casing or what?
No, just out there like that. I was surprised that he didn't take it and put it on and try and invoke the spirits of.
I think
of
most likely
samurai
replica. Replica. It shouldn't be the
But
authentic.
it's heavy.
Huh?
Yeah, very
It's heavy.
heavy.
Heavy lah. Yeah.
They talk about the doll.
Yeah.
Those kind of traditional door.
Super creepy doll.
I will send you the picture.
Okay.
Because I thought that we just walk ahead first, then we'll come back, then I will go purchase it.
No,
But when I
no,
come
no,
back,
yeah.
what's the doll?
The-
Then I show the picture of the doll to the
So
lady. They said, the people buy.
oh.
It's major regret.
It's very creepy, the doll.
It's got the eyes, the movable.
It's wooden one.
It's Japanese traditional doll.
Uh,
No. It's those kind of old time doll.
One time doll, yeah. I will send you the picture later.
Okay. Where's Sonia?
Sorry, the cat wanted to go out. I had to open the door.
Okay. I think if you all think of other Japanese story from Japan, maybe you can share next time in the future.
I think our
episode.
Japan trip has a lot of
it's very
content. Very, because we were there for quite a while, and there's so many segments to this trip. In fact, this entire episode, it's been 1 hour and 20 minutes worth of recording, and we haven't even moved away from Japan as yet.
And it's easy to pick my interest lah. And I told you guys, big Japanophile here, but not the didn't really look through the lens of looking at all these places, that abandoned places. I mean, I do see
the other side.
Yeah, the other side. Yeah.
Nihon.
Yeah. No, but like you go to all these ryokan, there's like, as you say, it's lost in time. I don't think it's more like the creepy side. It's more like, wow, you're transported to 20, 30 years ago, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
Really something very different. Yeah. Okay, so beside to Japan, you guys went to Yogya to climb Gunung Merbabu.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-4 days climb, right?
2 days 1 night. Yeah, 2 days 1 night climb.
Let me check. I wrote something about it. Merbabu is loosely translated as a mountain of ash. From the Javanese combined words. Meru means mountain and Abu means ash. The elevation is 3,145 meters. It's quite
42.
It's quite close. No. Mount Fuji is 3,776. Yeah, Merbabu is 3,100. Yeah.
42.
So the mortar and the pestle is on the summit.
It's mortar only. There's no pestle.
Okay, the mortar itself.
It's not. I think it's not on the summit. It's on along one of the checkpoint. Before the summit, I think.
So it's.
I think on top of the summit there is some mortar on there also.
Okay.
A few.
So mortar is basically for people to mash food lah, herbs and all this.
Pound the grain.
So that means it's left behind by the people who stayed on the mountain before.
But quite strange, right? It's why I say it's strange is the land. You would not be growing anything on those slopes, quite honestly, because it's very arid, it's dry, and it's loose gravel. So nothing would have grown, quite honestly. So I'm not sure what is the significance of having the mortars at these specific places. Was it symbolic? Was it religious? Because you will see the locals light incense and place it in front of it. So it seems like it has more of a spiritual significance. And it didn't make sense to me why it would be there.
Yeah, but from what I know is that the mortar itself is not situated just like that. They found it and they started to dig. To take this mortar out. Yeah.
Oh, it's inside the ground when they found it.
Yep.
So they dig. There's so many of this mortar.
Yes.
Oh. But they didn't dated it like from what time period, that kind of thing. Hundreds of years ago.
During the Hinduism.
Is it the Majapahit time, is it?
Majapahit, somewhere there.
That's like 16th century or something, is it? Wow. So after they excavated the mortar, they just leave it there lah.
They surround it with all the chains so that nobody can do any vandalize or step on it.
Then the local actually climbed the mountain to make offerings at this mortar.
Not sure about that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's why they climb, or is it just along the way they pay their respects. could be a case of that. But the Majapahit Empire was from the 12th century,
Yeah.
so long ago.
So this is Merbabu itself is also another dormant volcano lah.
Stratovolcano,
Yeah.
yes. So lately, that's the kind of terrain that we've been seeing.
Yeah, it sticks to the name because of the so-called
Mountain of Ash.
Merbabu. Because if you go down, you can see all the
Plumes of
Yeah.
dust.
But it's nice to be on the summit because there's a lot of summit.
Other mountains you can see other peaks lah.
I think is it 5 or 7?
7. If you go
Then
all around, you can see.
There must be story like maybe like 5 brothers that kind of thing. Where you like all these mountains, they'll share link story like
Usually, these mountains are steeped in mythical beliefs and superstition, even. Like how, if you delve further back, how do you appease a volcano? There was human sacrifice. They would throw people into live volcanoes to appease the gods that lived within the volcanoes, so that they don't erupt, right? And animal sacrifice still takes place. If you go to Bromo, for instance, in Indonesia, they still practice. They throw chickens or push cows. Sometimes there are less live taking. They throw flowers in, because there's still a lot of into the yes.
Yeah, but I think in Bromo, you're talking about the live chicken when they throw. I think below got people also catch the chicken.
Oh, is it? So the chicken escaped from the.
Yeah, just.
But yeah, it sounds cruel, but it's like tradition that is,
So people fear what they do not understand, and at a time when you do not understand, there's no deep understanding of volcanology, for instance, right? For them, it's like the gods are angry, the volcano will erupt, but they don't understand the tectonic forces. They don't understand the science behind it, which is why I am of the belief that the supernatural is just yet another science that we have fully yet to embrace and understand.
Yeah, like the magnetism within Aokigahara.
Yeah, correct.
That could be
the high iron content in the lava, the old lava flows.
Because
so you all want me to be logical, or you all want me to be like more that side, right? But first, for me, it's always logic and science.
But if logic and science, will lose a lot of audience immediately.
No, there are lots of people that enjoy the discussion,
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like. Sometimes like.
Oh, we never talked about it. There was something that I wanted to bring up during one of the recordings. It was my first time seeing something in the sky, and you said, "Save it, don't talk about it."
I think we save it, but you really have to save it when the month that we really don't have that much content. Okay,
I will save it.
So that's Merbabu.
But that's a teaser. I saw something for the very first time, and this logical science girl had no explanation for it.
And 2 episodes ago, when we have Yat, you guys mentioned that you all were planning to go for some urban exploration that night itself. So you actually went to Kota Tinggi.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe because there's another event coming up with your collaboration with somebody, maybe you can share with everybody what is in store for you guys with this. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, so we have an event coming up, a collaboration between TPC,
the Paranormal Consultants.
That's right, and us, the Wanderers, where we will be melding 2 disciplines. One of Urbexing, some war history that's attached to this place, as well as an Urbex to an abandoned hotel where we both felt a great sense of compulsion. For me, it was an attraction to the edges of the building, like the ledge and to the edge of the staircase from height. And then Cici had his own experience there as well.
But I got some like compression on my chest where I got difficulty in breathing on this certain floor.
How from I have a look at the picture. It's like there's like 10, 11 floor, that kind of thing. You all actually went up.
It's tall.
Yeah. So you all went up floor by floor and stairs and all this. Then within
there's no lift.
yeah, within the rooms, is it open? You know, like there's no window, that kind of thing, or
There's no window, there's no doors.
all open up.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested to experience,
Yes,
we'll share a picture. You just have one look and how creepy it is. It's in Kota Tinggi, JB. Then also
this takes place
the pillboxes.
On the 6th, 7th, and 8th. It is a
September,
3 days. 1, 2, 3.
2 days, 2 nights.
2 days, 2 nights.
2 days, 2 nights. Yeah. Friday night, you all depart. So
that's right.
Maybe you'll share
and
the TPC crew, what they usually do with their. Because the thing they do is not just only they will try to, make contact, right?
Mostly, I think they will do some experiment based on folklore. Then they will have their own equipment to detect all these energies.
Yeah. So it's a nice because they will have their own knowledge in how to do this part, like the EVP and all this, which we just explore and just have a look. They will have.
No, not Cici does this as well.
Okay.
So when they conduct the experiments,
they have their own EMF. They got their EVP. They got their own power.
Yeah. So I'll share the poster, but the date is confirmed.
Yes,
the September.
The dates are confirmed and all the details as well. But if anybody has questions, by all means, please reach out to either Cici or myself, and we'd be happy to share more about it, more details about it, and what is required of this trip, what to expect. But we're happy to talk about it and share more details. And thanks for allowing us to
Don't worry. Yeah.
to share here.
After you come back, maybe hopefully can get a bit of information, stories, about these places.
You should come.
Yeah, but the mind is willing, the body is not.
No, your body I will carry.
Yeah. Maybe in the future. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the very short one. Let's share some news. Alright, can you see? So this was the one that I mentioned about the tragedy where 3 bodies found at Mount Fuji crater. So when is this date? I don't see any date.
I think it was last year, wasn't it?
No, I think it's this year.
It's a date down there.
Is it?
Up a bit.
In the corner.
1 month.
Down.
Oh no, it's June.
27/6/2024.
2024, yeah. So
so recent.
Very recent, yeah. So you guys were mentioned about the cat got some reaction. You mentioned they said the bodies they carry inside the crater. So maybe
Did they fall? What was the investigation result?
it is unclear whether the 3 people climbing the mountain together, but the bodies were found slightly apart. So it happened during a heavy rainfall, I think. Maybe they should. But will the place? I mean, you've been there. Does it like easy to slip and fall? And if it happen, what kind of repercussion?
Stop! Both of you! Out! Get out! Sorry, had to break up a fight.
The cats. Yeah. So I was mentioning, like they mentioned that the crater, they might have slipped and fall, but you already climbed to the summit, and
Yeah.
would
I
be-
think it's possible because once you fell towards the crater on the side of the crater, it will be a fatal fall.
okay. Oh, but the crater itself is a flat land or what? The circumference.
The crater rim is rather circular, but it's steep going inwards.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I think just now when Sonia said like that, all these are underlying danger lah. If you like weather, you might have calculated like all the safety measure, but if it's bad weather, if it's like snowing, you really
Yeah, I think in June also there's a bit of snow on the
Yes.
peak itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like all this impending danger. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is in Santa Cruz Mountains in June as well. There's a missing hiker. He was lost in night. You look at him.
You can
Yeah.
see the picture.
We can't see the picture, it's still on the old one.
Yep.
Yeah. He was supposed to go on 3-hour hike, then turn into 9 days lost in the mountains for Boulder
wow.
Creek Man. This is in America, I suppose. Yeah. So same thing lah. At least I think he did tell his family that he's going for a hike, but you never know, what kind of situation you will fall into. Okay, then the last one, a bit more local. There's a body of a woman, 20, found in Bedok Reservoir. This place is well known now.
Yeah.
July 24th. It's like, for many years, I haven't heard of anything, and recently this one came back. Or maybe a lot unreported.
The Bedok Reservoir.
Same thing lah.
Like the woman and the child who drowned down there also, right?
This is the one?
Last few years.
Last
in
few
Bedok
years?
Reservoir.
A man, I think it's a man. There was
No,
a guy.
there's one lady who drowned herself with her daughter, I think,
Oh, is it?
in Bedok Reservoir.
The mother and daughter drowned together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Where both were in Ritz in Bedok
wow.
Reservoir. If I'm not wrong.
Okay, I need to go and find. But
You're with News 5 tonight. The bodies of a woman and a young boy were found this morning floating in the waters of Bedok Reservoir. They are believed to be that of 32-year-old Tan Zizi and her 3-year-old son, Gerald Chin Le Hui, who were last seen in Clementi on Tuesday morning.
These still waters run deep, for this is where the mother and child could have met their end. It's understood that Madam Tan and her son lived in a one-room flat at French Road in the Kallang area.
the last I read was, I think, 21 or 22, 201, 222. Another guy was found drowned. But this is, I think there's sign at the Bedok Reservoir also telling people not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any comments, Sonia, after you, with regards to this place?
Well, Bedok Reservoir has been synonymous with suicide also. So it is our very own Aokigahara.
I'll say there's signboards there to tell people don't do it also.
So the problem with all these water bodies is you have no idea what's at the bottom of it. For me, it's simple. If you think you can swim across it, or if your intention is not to commit suicide and you want to swim or something, you don't know what's underneath. Just like Keppel Reservoir, at the bottom it is littered with rope, branches. Oh,
Oh, something fly. I have to see.
Oh, reservoir? Keppel Reservoir.
Keppel Reservoir, and you know, there's all sorts of things that you can get entangled up with. So it's not safe, and it's not worth exploring in that manner. But I'm speaking about people who are of the adventurous spirit that want to swim in those places. I'm not talking about the other reason, right? The committing suicide. You want to commit suicide, you want to take your life. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that there's so many ways. And then, hey, again, I'm getting the eye roll again.
Gee, tonight a bit.
So many ways. And then you've got the vengeful suicides where you take your life not from depression but out of revenge.
Yeah,
You want to
Cici
come
just
back.
mentioned a mother and a daughter.
In 2011, the mother and the son
Son,
War.
both wearing red,
red.
red color to drown in the Bedok Reservoir.
That means they want to come back and they want to haunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
So I think, yeah, it's not for us to judge. I mean,
Yeah.
Because
And
if you got any kind of issue or problem, try to talk to your friends.
all right. Yeah.
Don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because suicide is not the way, lah.
Correct. Yeah. A lot of people are fighting to survive, fighting to live.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't throw your life
the value
away.
of life.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We are at the end of our show. Another epic show. Thank you so much for sharing all these stories. Yeah. And looking forward to, yeah. So what's beside the collaboration with TPC? Any other things coming up in September?
Well, aside from our usual training and the Malaysian hike, that's
Yeah, please
that's coming
join
up.
the Weekend Wanderers Walk group, Telegram group. I'll share also.
Yes, we have a Telegram group, and that takes place every month with or without the trips. But I would like to emphasize the reason we do these trainings is because you should be fit enough for these activities. And I'm not just talking about the mountain climbs. I'm talking about even urbexing or going on hikes and explorations. It does require a certain amount of fitness, and that's the reason that we train the way we do. Because we don't want to be the ones that need help out there
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we cannot continue, you know.
But the last one to the panty, got a bit like deceived. Thought, wow, same night, Gigi going to the top already, then see the wall with the ladder. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, it was so much fun. It's a break in the monotony of a normal hike. Gives us a little bit more of a challenge, and I think we should relish
Alright,
those sorts of experiences. I know you had fun, even though you were complaining.
I did. Thank you so much for bringing me there. So if anybody interested, please join the Telegram group and be informed with all these upcoming activities. So at the end of it, my usual line, which Sonia love it. Don't be square. Get out there. G, how about you? Still cannot remember.
Sonia.
You know, did you have like a
The tag.
one-liner
Yeah.
type of a thing? You,
Me.
yes, you.
You can't see me, but I can see you.
Yes.
It gets cheesier and cheesier and cornier and cornier.
No, leh.
For me, I've just been screaming at the cats.
Yeah.
Because we picked up another stray down in my car park, and he's trying to integrate into the home. So I've had to break up several fights. As now, I've got 3 extra boys in the house. All my cats are male, so they're fighting for hierarchy and for dominance. So I'm going to repeat what I said to the cats, and that is, get out.
Get
Okay.
out. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.